Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So, this is going to be a general reading for water sign Pisces, and it is going to cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. And it is also a timeless reading. So that means for some of you guys, it could resonate, let's say 6 months in the past, 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future. It will resonate for everyone differently, but it is a timeless reading. So it can go back or forward beyond the original title, which is for January 3rd through January 16th of 2022. I hope everyone had a good new year and is doing well. So we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment, Pisces. Also wanted to say that I do take one photo at the end of all of the cards here, and I do share it on my Facebook page in case you want to check it out and see it more up close in detail at a later time. So if that's something that interests you, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see it. All right. Also wanted to say that this video may resonate for you too as well, even if you are not a Sun Pisces, Rising Pisces, or Moon Pisces, as we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each of our individual birth charts. So that's why I always encourage everyone, if they haven't already, to get a free birth chart online, even if you don't have your original, not your original, even if you don't have your, well, I guess it is original, even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can still get a pretty good birth chart online. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here, Pisces. And so I want to do a quick little sound bell here for some general grounding and healing for the reading, not only for myself, but for you guys too. So just be aware, sometimes it does get loud. If you're watching with headphones, or even if not, just be aware of that. And let me actually, speaking of loud, let me turn this music down a little bit. I have music usually on a little bit in the background. My dogs, because they're going, and I live near the stairwell, so sometimes they act stupid. Um, but yes, it is snowing here on the East Coast where I'm at, and my California dogs had their first snow adventure, so that was pretty cute. I think part of them liked it, and then part of them was like, this is really cold and wet, and what is this? But we had a pretty exciting morning this morning. All right, so anyway, if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen. All right. All right, Pisces. Let's go ahead and get into your reading here. First of all, I also wanted to say, if you're new, welcome. And even if you're not new, welcome back, right? So we're going to start with the first 6 cards in the center here, and then move outwards into your tarot confirmation cards that I use with another deck. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. And then at the very end, we have 2 oracle cards for you as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and call them out and then kind of go in order here. But I also wanted to say that this first row here in the center is energy starting around today, or depending on when you're watching, right, January 3rd. It could be a little bit before, a little bit after, going through the rest of this week and weekend. And then the second row is the same kind of thing. So going through the second week and weekend of January till about January 16th or so. All right, so Pisces, we have King of Cups in the right side of position. We have King of Sacred Circles, also known as King of Pentacles, right side up. We have Two of Sacred Circles, Two of Pentacles, right side up. We have Ace of Staves, also known as Ace of Wands in reverse. We have the Chariot right side up, and we have Five of Staves, also known as Five of Wands in reverse. All right. So real quick before we get into it too, I want to mention a couple zodiac signs that I do see here in your reading as far as the major arcana in case you're looking out for that. So we have Aries, Cancer, and Scorpio. So you could be dealing with the Aries, Cancer, or Scorpio, or you have a lot of that predominantly in your birth chart, or they do, or it means nothing to you at all, but I wanted to mention it ahead of time. And also, once we get into this reading, if you find that it doesn't resonate with you, it could be about the person that you're dealing with, or multiple people that you're dealing with, or your general environment situation. But that's why I try to mention it in the beginning, but I forgot to earlier, is that depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign. So that's why I always encourage everyone to check their other placements as well. All right. So your first card here, I mentioned, is the King of Cups in the right side up position here, Pisces. So this talks about a nice stabling energy, okay, of abundance, right? Support, feeling like you have a lot of support all around you. You have all the resources that you need, but also responsibility of others, right? Since he's a king, people look up to him, come to him for advice, and he has to take care of his kingdom, the people in his kingdom, right? So it could be that this is you, Pisces, and this is kind of, it could be a recent past energy. And what is recent past? It could be a couple of days ago, months, weeks, years, etc. You have to ask which one of those it is for you, okay? But when we talk about the cups in the tarot, it's about emotion. So emotional contentment, emotional fulfillment, emotional priorities, boundaries, right? But his cup is right side up and he's holding it in one hand. And in this deck, he's also in the other hand holding a book. So he's really clear and maybe writes down, what matters to him, what he's trying to manifest or bring forward in his life, okay? So this is, like I said, this really strong emotional stability card or energy here, okay? Now, you do have, as your second card, another king. This time it's the King of Sacred Circles, also known as the King of Pentacles. So here, the way this card is depicted is you see this Native American kind of grandfather figure, older man here, and he's playing the drum, right? The sacred circle is the drum. Okay, so again, this is someone of authority, someone in a higher position above others, someone that people look up to perhaps, but it's also about passing down things to the younger generation, because this is what this particular card talks about in this deck, right? So really being aware of oral traditions, right? When we think of Native American cultures or a lot of different cultures, if they don't have it written down, it's spoken, right? So there could be something about communication here, or generational wisdom, passing things down, right? But it's also about enlightenment, because what we see here in the top of the card, if you can see really tiny here, is this lightning strike. And so that comes actually from the Tower card, right? So this talks about revelation, spiritual downloads. Now I finally understand something, having more information, enlightenment, okay? And that could be what fuels this king here in particular to get into those kind of deeper questions, perhaps about oral traditions and what are being passed down to others, okay? Now, I did want to also say that in your reading here, Pisces, that as far as your major arcanas, the one that was the highest number was the Sacred Circles or the Pentacles, right? Since we have two different decks here. So this could be a particular underlying theme for this time frame of this 2 weeks here for you, or even beyond or before, right? Since time is fluid and relative. But what is the Sacred Circles and the Pentacles represents? Okay, it represents money, but it also represents all forms of abundance. So abundance isn't just money. excuse me, it's also, whatever we're trying to manifest in our life, whether it's a new relationship, a new job position, a new home, working on your health, whatever it is, okay? But it seems like in this first week here or so, there's these really strong emotional positions here, emotional stability, and this really beautiful, enlightenment, revelations, wanting to pass down some type of oral tradition or oral history or just generational history experience to others. Okay. Now, when we go into your third card, which could be more towards the weekend of this week, right, is the Two of Sacred Circles, also known as the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So this is about juggling responsibilities. Okay. Since it's two pentacles, right? It's not 10 pentacles. You're not completely rich yet, right? But you're starting to slowly stack your pentacles. But the way that this card is shown in this deck is there's this Native American man here. We see the back of his head, and he is conjuring the symbol of the bear, right? So the bear represents that power. It represents also the ability to maneuver through a difficult storm. When we think of bears, we think of hibernation in the winter when it's cold, okay? So that could be something that you yourself here are trying to also manifest as far as your responsibilities and getting more coins or pentacles in your life or more abundance in general, okay? But really nice energy for this first week here of January for you. I like it, Pisces. All right. Now, going forward here, before I get to your fourth card, the second week of January, I also want to talk about, this is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what is on the top and the bottom of your main deck here that we're using for the center. Okay, this is the Ancestral Path deck, okay? And this is energy from the way, way back past. So I mentioned in the beginning of the reading, a recent past energy. This is like further back past that, okay? So anyway, what we have is the Prince of Staves in reverse is on top of the deck, and the Four of Cups in the right side up position is on the bottom of this deck. So with the Prince of Staves or Prince of Wands in reverse, this could be saying here, Pisces, that in the way, way back past, there perhaps was a little bit a lack of confidence, or it was also an energy of you yourself or the person you're dealing with, a general environment situation where somebody was a little bit not quite ready to level up in some way, right? So normally when the princes are right side up, even in different minor arcanas, right? They're studying and training and waiting to be a king. But in the reverse position, it's like a little bit of hesitancy here, and that could be due to some emotions that are not under control or confusing in the past, okay? Because if this card is right side up, you see the Nile River behind him, and so the water and the tarot represents our emotions. But with it being reversed, it could be a little bit confusing, or they're out of control, and that could be why in the recent past there was this hesitancy to level up in some way, or to fully step into your power, or to fully feel your own confidence, okay? Now, when we also have it right next to the Four of Cups on the right side up, this is an energy of not being really happy with what was currently being offered in the past, okay? So his cups are right side up. They're not spilled over, right? But you can tell by this guy's body language and how he's sitting that he's not really super happy. He's kind of sluggish over and just like, oh, whatever, right? And he's looking off in the distance. He's not even looking at his cups. So the cups represent our emotional fulfillment, happiness, contentment, emotional priorities, boundaries, all of those things. So there could be, like we talked about with the Nile River in reverse, okay, over here, that somebody's emotions here weren't where they wanted them to be. They weren't happy with something or content, and with those being heard as far as their emotions or other people's emotions, or both, right? But what he doesn't realize, because he's only really sees the first three cups, and what he doesn't realize is that there's another fourth cup that if he just stays a little patient, waits a little bit longer, that better circumstances, better options will be presented from the divine, from the universe for him. Okay, better emotions, better emotional fulfillment, emotional contentment, emotional happiness, all of those things. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this really quickly before we go into your fourth card, because it kind of relates to why this card is here in this position as well. So as your fourth card, we have the Ace of Staves, also known as the Ace of Wands, in the reverse position. So this is a little bit of stagnant energy, a lack of passion or creative energy, and the beginning of that second week here, okay, or slowing down energy, blockages, right, in that second week of January. Sorry, let me just make sure the music is a little, okay. So let me put it with your other two cards here, right? So it could be that the reason why there's this stagnant energy, in that second week of January here, Pisces, is because there's stuff from the past that still hasn't healed all the way or come together as far as your emotions or someone else's emotions, stepping into power, working on confidence, having the patience to wait for something to get better, to present, more favorable emotions or on your side or on someone else's, or both. Okay, so yeah, if your emotions aren't in control or they're not, you're not happy or content about something, it's going to be really hard to move forward, to have forward momentum. It's going to be hard to be creative or passionate in some way. All right. But it doesn't last long here, Pisces, because what is your fifth card here? And here comes a little bit of that Cancer energy, right? We have the Chariots in the right side up position. And this is also a little bit of Pisces energy too. It's not your official tarot card, but there is a little bit of Pisces there too. All right. So, when we talk about the Chariot, now you have the forward momentum. You have this guy, riding really fast with his chariot forward. And in this one, instead of horses, we have two lions, right? So you have one is black and one is yellow. And so that also represents the masculine, feminine energy inside all of us, right? Being more in balance, okay? So it could be that little bit of that blockage or stagnant energy that you had in the beginning of that second week here of January, it looks like maybe by the middle of the week that the energy changes for you, okay? Now, moving forward, before we get to your sixth card, I want to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, okay? This is the one with the yellow border. It's the Welland deck, okay? But this is, again, energy from the way, way back past. Could be a couple of days ago, hours, weeks, months, years, etc. But you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, another Pentacles card, and then you have the Death card in reverse as well, a little bit of that Scorpio energy too. So what does this mean for you? This means that in the recent past here, Pisces, there could have been some type of medium-sized communication that you were going to give to someone, or someone was going to give to you, or medium-sized communication from the universe, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors, that either wasn't well received or was put on hold or didn't come through at all when it's in the reverse position. Okay, also could just be, again, stagnant energy, not feeling particularly abundant or passionate in some way. And when we put it together with the Death card, it's almost like somebody was resisting some type of change, or whether it's a big change or small change, a good change or bad change, right? Because that's what the Death card represents. It represents clearing away of the old to make way for the new, okay? So it could be, that this communication that didn't come through or wasn't well received in some way. If it was a communication, if it wasn't just stagnant energy and lack of passion, it could be because somebody, also when we talk about the Death card in reverse in this deck, there's dogs, okay? Let me just show you the card in the right side up position if you're watching, at the bottom of his horse, right? So it could also be that maybe you felt the dogs represent loyalty. Sorry, dogs represent loyalty. So maybe you felt like someone wasn't being loyal to you, or you weren't being loyal to someone that you maybe were in the past, or or they assume that you would be or something, but there could be some type of loyalty issues going on here with this, miscommunication or communication that didn't come through or was put on hold, or the general stagnant energy, lack of passion, okay? And just that resistance to change, okay? Now, when we put these two cards together with your last card in the main center here, the sixth card, okay? Your sixth card is the Five of Staves, Five of Wands in the reverse position. So this is a little bit of, not relying on your support system, okay? Your support system is whatever it is for you. It'll be different for everyone, right? But it'll be friends, family, mental health care worker, whatever, okay? The people that you look to when times are tough, right? So it could be here, Pisces, that at that second week of January or weekend, you're not feeling that support from others as much as you would like to, or assume that would naturally come in. But it's also, for some of you guys, a little bit of this feeling of maybe your support system wants you to lighten up in some way, to not take life so seriously. They want to help you with certain things. But again, if there's that resistance to change with the Death card, right? Because we're talking about this way, way back past energy along with your last card in the main center, the Five of Wands, or Five of Staves in reverse, okay? So it could be that your support system is actually still there for you, but they're not telling you what you want to hear, maybe, or they're telling you like the honest truth, and it's hard for you because there's something here that you don't want to change. Because normally when the card is right side up in this deck, you see these four Egyptian men, and they look like architects, right? And there's a pyramid behind them, and then they're sitting on the ground working on some type of plans to build something. Okay, so they're practicing before they actually build it, okay? So there could be this resistance here for you, or the person you're dealing with, or multiple people you're dealing with, or general environment situation that doesn't want to play and practice and take things less seriously. There's just like somebody really wants to not go with this Death card, right, in the reverse position. They don't want to have some type of change, because change is hard for everybody, right? Whether it's a good change or bad change, or small or big, it could just be that it's just somebody doesn't want to do it, right? And it also could be that they're not being flexible, and there's just like this stubborn energy here. I really feel that with this last card here. And I'll talk about more why I feel that, because your last third confirmation card that we use with another deck also has some similar themes, but we'll kind of go in order here. So I just kind of wanted to briefly mention that. Okay. So now, since we mentioned confirmation cards, let's get into it. So your first one here, Pisces, is excuse me, the Nine of Pentacles in the right side up position, the Emperor in the reverse position, that's the Aries energy I mentioned earlier, and then your last confirmation card is the Three of Cups in reverse, okay? So when we go talk about these first two confirmation cards, this is usually past energy, and then the last one is more future current energies, okay? But when this Nine of Pentacles comes in here from the past, this is normally all about stacking your abundance, right? It's 9 pentacles, almost 10, which would be the completion number in the tarot. Okay, so you see this beautiful woman here out in the field. She's got a falcon on one of her arms, and she's got a little scribe guy behind her taking notes. Okay, so she has all these resources and tools around her. Okay, she's not lacking abundance or pentacles. Okay, but the falcon represents that skill, the determination, and focus, because usually they have a cover over their eyes, right? But it's not about their intellect or their eyes. They know what their goal is already in the other senses and in their heart, let's say, if they're human, and then they go after it. Okay, so that's just kind of what this card talks about here. Now, when it's confirming and coming in here to confirm the King of Cups right side up and the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands in reverse, it's basically saying here, Pisces, that In the past, you could have been in this mindset of the Nine of Pentacles, or this could have been someone around you, a mentor or someone that you looked up to or that was helping you or influencing you in some way. So they helped you possibly get, or you yourself helped yourself get to this King of Cups energy of being emotionally content and fulfilled and being in a higher position of authority. Remember, so 9, almost 10. So in the recent past, maybe you also started this process of leveling up in some way, in a relationship, in a job, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, the next step up, okay, forward. Right. And then here, when you talk about the king, it's like maybe now in this first 2 weeks of January, you're going to be able to finally step into that higher position of authority or leveling up in some way that we just mentioned, with romantic relationship with friends or family or work, etc. Okay. But just being really clear and being clear about your emotions, and like, when you think of a king or you think of a boss, right? They will tell you something and just expect it to happen if it's an order, right? Or if it's not an order or command, but I'm trying to think of the way to say it. It's like they don't hesitate as far as what needs to be done. Okay. So that's kind of like what I'm feeling here. I don't always say that with that card, but that's just what I'm feeling here. Okay. Now, when this Nine of Pentacles is also confirming the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands in reverse, this is also saying here, Pisces, that, in the past here, in the recent past, maybe you had all this abundance and you had more resources and people helping you, like the scribe behind her, and you had a really clear determination and skill and focus on something, but then here it was kind of lost a little bit with this blockage that you had briefly in that second week, or the lack of passion, the lack of new beginnings or birthing something, starting something new. Okay. Now, moving forward into your second confirmation card, we have that Aries energy, which is the Emperor in the reverse position. Okay. And this is recent past energy as well. So it could be that in the recent past, in some way, there is, again, in a couple different cards, this feeling in the past of a lack of passion, a lack of creativity, a lack of owning and stepping into your own power or confidence here, a lack of feeling support from your support system, whatever that system may be, right? Friends, family, mental health care worker, whatever. But it is in the reverse position, okay? Now, also when we talk about the Emperor and the Empress, even though we don't have the Empress card in your reading here, normally when it's right side up, it could be because of that Aries energy, like leadership qualities, right? He's an emperor, almost like a king, but it also speaks of some type of business for some of you guys. So it could be that in the recent past, you were trying to start this new business or new creative project or something like that, something to do with whatever your work is. And maybe there was a blockage with that in the past because of lacking the resources or lacking the support around your creative energy, passion in the recent past, okay? But when this comes in and it is confirming the King of Sacred Circles right side up and the Chariot right side up, okay? It was almost like a catalyst for you. So since you felt that in the recent past here, Pisces, or the other person you're dealing with felt that, or multiple people or general environment situation, it became a catalyst for these other two cards on the side that are both really positive to now stepping into another king role in the right side up position, right? And being confident, feeling more supportive around you to the point where you want to give back to others. You want to have this passing down of generational knowledge, generational insights, generational revelations, just knowledge in general. Okay, so that's really beautiful, and feeling more abundant because now the Pentacle and Sacred Circle, the drum is in the right side up position. So not only money, but feeling abundant in other ways of whatever you're trying to manifest in your life. Okay. And then also with the Chariot here on the other side, that Cancer energy and a little bit of Pisces energy as well. It's like, okay, now because of this past energy of feeling the Emperor in reverse, I'm balancing my masculine and feminine energies more. I have forward momentum. My emotions are in control. Not so much in this deck, but usually in other decks, sometimes you see the Chariot and it's a guy on a horse in a chariot, not on a horse. He's in a chariot being pulled by two horses, but they're like galloping through the water. So the water again represents our emotions. So now the emotions are more in control and they're more balanced and they're being used wisely to go forward after whatever you want. Okay. All right. Now, your last confirmation card here, the one I was talking about that has similar energy to your 6th card, is this more future current energies with the 3 of Cups in reverse position. So normally when it's right side up in this deck, you see these 3 women and they're cheersing each other under this full moon. It's about celebrations and happiness and having good times and leaning on each other, but it's in reverse, okay? But it's coming in here and it's confirming the 2 of Sacred Circles right side up, also known as 2 of Pentacles right side up, and the 5 of Staves or 5 of Wands in reverse, okay? So let me just kind of fix my chair here. I felt like I was in a weird position. So there's 3 of Cups in reverse, and this is like more like a warning, I feel like, for you here, Pisces, because it is in that future current energies, right? It's like if you are struggling with balancing your resources and your responsibilities with the 2 of Pentacles in the right side up position, the 2 of Sacred Circles right side up, instead of just calling on the bear spirit for that power and that courage and the strength to survive hard winter storms, you also need to call on your support system, okay? Not just your spiritual support system team, like physically, your physical support system team, even if they're not physically by you, calling them on the phone, FaceTiming, whatever, Zoom, whatever, right? So, because when you put these 2 cards together, right, it's very similar energy of the support being in the opposite position. So I was saying before how maybe your support team or system wasn't telling you necessarily what you wanted to hear, and they were trying to get you out of that serious mode as far as your future in some way, and they wanted you to play and practice and look at things from a different angle. Maybe you weren't ready to do that yet because the Death card, remember, was in the reverse position in the way back past. Okay, so here when it's put together with the 3 of Cups in reverse too, it's like there could be a celebration that is put on hold, or you really feeling that full support team on your side because you're not letting them help you or see you in a less serious way, right? Sometimes we often feel like burdens to others, and even though they're their friends or they're our friends or our family or whatever, we could be embarrassed and we don't want them to see us a certain way or whatever. It's just hard to be vulnerable sometimes, okay? But this is definitely a warning here to just let these people help you, all right? And let them help you see to take something not as seriously, to play and to practice and plan in different options and viewpoints, okay? So it doesn't have to go down this way. Like I said, I see it more as a kind of just a reminder or a little warning here for you, Pisces. All right. So not a bad reading so far, in regards to your tarot. But let's go ahead before we go and talk about your oracle cards as well. And excuse me, get a sip of coffee here. Okay. So your first oracle message is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love or even self-love or all those, right? Your oracle love message is new love, and it says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And you see this woman here, and she's looking down at this suitor who's holding her hand, and there's all these angels behind them, right? So this definitely is pretty self-explanatory for the romantic side, if that's what you're looking for. Um, but it also, makes sense as far as there could be some type of new love, a new friend, a new family member, or a different level or appreciation for love with the family member or friend that you already know, right? Yes, right on the bell there. So it just could be this, hey, stop. It just could be being open to having this person or this energy, if it's not a particular person, come in here and kind of, show you love on a deeper level or a more higher vibrational love. Okay. And also, you could also, I know I said that twice. You could as well say that if it was for self love, that maybe different parts of yourself are coming together and letting you fully love yourself and see this new, again, higher vibrational type love. Okay. But again, take it how it resonates for you because it will be different for everybody. All right. And then your last oracle card here. This is from the Kali Ma Oracle deck. It's a new Oracle deck that my friend gave me. It's really beautiful. It's by Elena Fairchild, and the artist is Jimmy Manton, I believe. But Kali Ma is, a Hindu Indian goddess that deals with themes of justice. And there's a lot of different manifestations of her that even I am still learning about, okay? But your Kali Ma Oracle card for this time period is, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Anahata Kali, okay? And I don't think I've seen this one before, but it looks super peaceful. A lot of the depictions of Kali Ma in her justice form, right? She can look really scary, okay? So, like just on the book, right? I mean, she looks beautiful, but also like she's holding a sword, okay? Versus the one that came out for you that is really showing this star, right over the chest of her and coming out of some type of stone here, or she looks like she's made of stone, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and read just a little bit about this card since I'm not super familiar with these. All right, so I'll just hold that here. And it says, beautiful, powerful mother of the sacred universal heart, who lives within our hearts as the wisdom and healing power of love. Your heart knows how to heal, Cleo, sorry, and how to open, how to break, and how to repair itself to become stronger and wiser than before. Your heart cannot be contained or constrained by what has taken place in the past. Your heart wisdom and empowerment are growing. Okay. Soon you shall have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. And it says, the journey of the soul is the journey from head to heart. Anata is the Sanskrit name for the heart chakra. Okay. Anata Kali is the goddess who secures the awakening, transformation, and liberation of the heart. So remember how I was talking about this star in the center of the chest and this person almost looking like they're stone, okay? Because I'm not going to, go into reading all of this, but I did read it earlier, and it mentioned how, and it also, I just said it, right? Going from your head and your intellect to then opening your heart chakra. So if there was some kind of energy here that was closed off and more of like a stone energy, it could be now that the heart chakra is starting to open. And that's like the ultimate spiritual journey of all, right? To be open to love in all of its forms. Anything else I wanted to say? I think that was pretty much it. Hold on a second. I think there was an important one more sentences I remember reading, but I can't find it. Hold on. Oh yes, here we go. For those who have had their heart broken in love, in spiritual communities, by friends or family members, by God or life itself, the message here is that something deeper is taking place. The shattering of structures, right? The stones are falling down here in the card. Even the shattering of ideals gives the heart the opportunity to break free and open up to a greater, more satisfying experience and expression of love. Becoming non defensive, softening, and opening to spirit with unconditional trust places you in a position of astonishing protection, empowerment, and grace. Okay. So, yeah, super beautiful Pisces. I hope that you got something from that, and always feel free to let me know in the comments or privately. But yeah, this is your reading for this time here, Pisces. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your likes, for your shares, and for your subscriptions, which are free. It's a great way to support the channel. So if you haven't already subscribed and you want to, just look for the bell icon. I always point here, but I think it's opposite for you guys, so it would be over there. Wherever the bell icon is, okay? You just click on it, and if you have a YouTube account, it just basically notifies you when I put out new videos. But yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to get ready now for the Aquarius reading, which will be next in order. We're going backwards through the signs. So anyway, I hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.